introductions. What's going on, people? It's your boy Macky O M. I hope y'all niggas is doing well. Hope y'all niggas is living right. We got my people here, my good brothers. We got the razor sharp assassin with the clipper in Johnny B. We also got Badman forward, Badman pull up, Badman forward, Badman pull up, Badman forward, Badman pull up, Badman Shawny in the motherfucking building, and we got the Hook Kage, the Black Kage, El Crispin, and we are time out. And I forgot to mention he's not on camera right now, but we got a new motherfucking producer in this bitch. And his name is Will. He, like I said, he's not on camera. He's not on camera at the moment, but you will see him at some point. And we are the Paradise Podcast.
Face reveal incoming.
Welcome to episode 89. 89.
Damn, bro.
Welcome to episode 89, guys.
All ass niggas, man. Yeah, episode 89, nigga. Yes, sir.
89, nigga. 89. How's everybody living? How's everybody doing?
Tired.
We good. We good. We good.
Very tired.
I got trapped in an island because of a storm. That's all I got to say.
I work at a barbershop, and all the kids need haircuts. My life.
It's back to school, so I feel that.
Beautiful.
No, it's not beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful for your pockets, bro.
It's actually a nightmare.
That's what I be telling him, bro. But he be trying to play like it's not.
It's beautiful for your pockets, bro.
Niggas' pockets is
not for your back, but for your pockets.
Yeah, no, my back hurt.
My
knees hurt. My back.
I was right. 89. I bet.
But
I had to go double check that shit.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
My pockets hurt.
So obviously niggas don't really have too much to talk about. So let's just get into the topic because niggas talk about some shit.
What we talking about? What you doing?
So as most people know, this week or this past weekend, the One Piece live action has dropped and broken the internet with records, as much as being number one on Netflix in 84 countries, which has just beaten Wednesday. Let's give a round of applause for them niggas.
And Stranger Things.
Come on, let's give a round of applause. Fucking Stranger Things. And what's that nigga's name? The villain in Stranger Things, John? I know you know what's his name.
The Demogorgon?
Nah, yeah.
One of the monsters.
Vector, right? Isn't it Vector?
Vector or something like that.
Fuck that nigga, man. He ain't got nothing on fucking Arlong and them niggas. What you talking about?
Nah, it's all about Buggy, bro.
What is you talking about?
Captain Buggy.
So, we're just gonna do now. I personally have watched all 8 episodes because I wanted to binge it. Thank you, I appreciate it. But the guys have not. Yeah, I have a lot of time on my hands since I'm unemployed. So the guys have not.
Don't make him sad again. Don't make him sad again.
I personally want to enjoy each episode.
I did.
I enjoyed.
I enjoyed every single. I enjoyed all 8, and I'm gonna rewatch it in Japanese actually. Yeah, but yes, so the guys have not been able to watch it, all of it. I know Crispin watched it all, but John and Shawny, with their busy lives, they were not able to watch it. So we're just gonna do the what, John?
I saw 2 episodes.
Okay, so we're gonna do our impressions on the first 2 episodes. And yeah, I'm just gonna back off at this point, and whoever wants to go first, please take it and let us know how you feel about the One Piece live action.
Mr. Articulate, go ahead.
Yeah.
Mr. Articulate, go ahead. Take it away.
John, do you mind reading the synopsis and let's focus on episode 1? That's all I prepped for.
Oh, there's a reason why I wore my really tight ass One Piece t-shirt today.
It's crazy. I don't have one Piece t-shirt. It's insane.
Yeah, it used to fit me, and then shrunk. Okay, so I love reading the actual synopsis that these streaming platforms have, because anybody that doesn't know One Piece and is reading this is how they're describing the story to you. So we have episode 1 is titled Romance Dawn.
El Romance.
So episode 1 of the live action series covers half of the Romance Dawn arc, which sets off Luffy's adventure. Monkey D. Luffy, an optimistic young pirate with dreams of finding the One Piece, sets off in search of the loyal crew he needs to navigate the vast oceans. His journey begins when he helps Kobe, a deckhand forced into servitude, escape an undesirable situation. While in Shell's Town, Luffy meets Roronoa Zoro, a famed pirate hunter, and Nami, a master thief. And the three form a tenuous alliance. So this part of the story, Shawny put here in his notes, covers anime episodes 1 through 3 and manga chapters 1 through 7.
Real nigga shit.
I did feel like there was a lot of story in that first episode.
Yeah, that first episode.
It was an hour long, so
it's a chunker. It's definitely a big chunk of information.
Yeah, that shit was.
Yeah. So, are we going around the table and just talking about our first impressions of the whole thing?
Yeah. Just give your first impression of the actual episode, and then we'll break down the details.
Yeah. So, like I predicted when we did our trailer reaction, I felt like there were going to be some moments throughout the show where the CGI was going to take me out of it, and the CGI does take me out of it. But I genuinely feel like these actors and the way that the story is being told, like the way that it's edited, is really nice. And the way that the scenes are shot are very nice. Like, I'm actually appreciating some of the cinematography that we're getting out of this thing. And I think one thing that became surprisingly apparent to me very, very quick was how much what's this guy's name? Inaki, the guy that plays
Inaki Godoy.
Inaki Godoy.
It's very, very creepy how much he is like Luffy. Because I wasn't really 100% sold on his portrayal of Luffy just because of what the trailer shows us. But after, just getting to see him be Luffy, it works. It makes a lot of sense. It definitely makes an awful lot of sense. Oh, thank you. Shawny just provided us the actor list, the casting list for these characters. I definitely will say that I have no evidence to back this up, but I suspect that a lot of these actors, especially the older gentleman, the one that plays Garp, and the one that plays Morgan. I feel like those two actors come off to me like they have stage experience, and I think that to do a story like One Piece, as like fantasy and fantastical as the story can be, the stage acting, like that real like chest out kind of like type of acting is super needed to make this come to life in a live action form factor. And I kind of got those vibes, so I don't know if I'm correct. I haven't done any research on their acting careers, but a lot of these actors give me the impression that they have stage experience, and I think that contributes to how well they sell the characters. And I do like so far the way that each of these actors have portrayed their respective characters. I do think that the guy, what's his name, Mackyomo, the guy that plays Zoro, I don't feel like he looks like Zoro that much, but I definitely like the way that he acts like Zoro. He definitely gives me Zoro's personality, and like standoffishness. But I don't know if it's like the spray paint in the hair thing that kind of throws me off. I think that might be something you mentioned right off camera, Mac. I don't think you were a fan.
Comment.
I don't think you were a fan. Okay,
we need the comments.
We'll hear his rant when he gets to it.
Absolutely.
But I didn't hate it, but it definitely stands out. There are like just certain details that just kind of take you out of it. But so far, I love the tone. I love the seriousness. I love the fact that there's gore in some scenes. I love the fact that It gives me Disney vibes, like it gives me Pirates of the Caribbean kind of a little bit, but in a good way.
With
Like,
the soundtrack, the soundtrack does
the
that too.
music and just kind of like the
How it looks,
atmosphere
yeah.
and how it looks and stuff like that. Like it gives me the vibes of Pirates of the Caribbean. And I think that it works. I think that it works. I'm not gonna say that the whole thing works because I haven't finished it. But it's definitely something that I'm interested to finishing the whole thing and seeing how they tell the story. But it definitely works.
Let me go off what you just said. I agree with everything you just said. There was a couple of things, and I'm gonna just throw them in here just because I'm already agreeing with most of the things you said. But with One Piece, the establishing shots of the like islands and like where they're at are
Yes.
so important,
Yes.
and I don't feel like they
They're
hit.
dope. Yeah. They're
I don't
definitely
feel like
dope.
they hit as much as I thought they were. They weren't like this is the town, this is where Luffy. Like the wide shot to the. I don't think
Mhm.
they did that as much as they do it in the anime and the manga. Like he really builds this city and then shows it to you, and then it shows you, oh, you're in this little pub in this huge city type shit. I don't think they did that. And Luffy's town, like when they did the flashbacks, they didn't do that.
No, they I don't think they want to show that much right away, probably.
Um, or in where Axan Morgan was at, they didn't really show. They shot like that one shot. It was like
Yeah, the
really
one
quick.
scene where they showed
The island.
the island and
city, the little
the what do you call that shit? I don't know what
The
it's called. But
fortress.
yeah, they showed the fortress
Marine
and that little
base.
shoot. Yeah, thank you. They showed the
Base.
marine base. That was cool. But
But
I feel you.
they
Continue, please.
I agree. They don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the issue that The Witcher had, where like it would bounce around, but they never like would say that it's this point in time or this location. They only said at one point they'll put it in text at one point where they are, but they don't bounce back often.
They don't
Because
do
I
that
remember they did do
establishment.
that for the. Never mind.
Let's let Crispin finish his
Like
first impressions.
that was one of the things that I didn't like. Like I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm missing that from what I know from One Piece. That's just me nitpicking at this point, right? But when it comes to like you said, Iñaki did a good job for me. There's some time that I'm like, maybe the anime Luffy wouldn't do this, but it wouldn't make sense if he goes all the way anime Luffy because I'm looking at a human being just being super ridiculous. Like you can't be OD ridiculous to the point of ridiculousness that he was using, like how bubbly Luffy is. To that point, whatever he did get to the point that he get, it was like perfect for live action. You know what I'm saying? Like if he would have gone a little bit more, it would have been like, you pushing it.
It would have
There
been
were certain
cheesy.
parts of his cadence that sounded like
No,
the
like it
Japanese
was just
actor.
like, I was
And
like,
I was
whoa.
like when he screams out Nami.
Yeah.
I was like,
It was good. The CGI for me, I didn't really give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck. Like it was just like, oh, cool, yeah, I know Luffy could do that. I know Luffy could do that. Cool, like whatever. Like I'm not looking at it in a technical sense because I'm like, it's Netflix, and if I start looking at CGI on Netflix, bro,
You're gonna
I'm gonna
get
go
upset.
crazy. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go crazy, bro. I'm just gonna let it rock. If it's giving me the feeling, like I was just looking for the feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm watching this, I'm like, yeah, that's Luffy. Yeah, Nami would do some shit like that. Yeah, that's Zoro type shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I liked one thing that they did in the first episode actually, when they showed Zoro and fighting
Number 7
Number
Mr.
seven
Seven.
from Baroque
from Baroque Works.
In the anime, they never show that shit. They show a
They
drawing of Mr.
they
Seven.
mention it
They
when
mention it.
they
They mention
get
it.
to that part of
Dude,
the story.
yeah, they mention it. I know they mention it, but they never show it. And the
No.
only thing they show is like a little drawing that Oda did in the
Yeah.
manga. Ugly as hell. You can't even tell what it is. And a 7 in the face. That's it. That's all you know. And then I see him, and I'm like, yes, sir. Yeah, we need to see this. This is the fight I needed to see because y'all niggas wanted to recruit my man, and he said no.
I think that was a great choice
That's
to
a great
plant
choice,
that
yeah.
seed that early because it connects to Alabaster so seamlessly.
Yeah.
Just with that one scene.
When they
That
go
one scene
if they-
establishes the whole next arc.
Not if, because I'm pretty sure they are going to do a season 2. When they do the season 2, and you
With
introduce
the
Baroque work
reception is
again.
God, of course.
When they do Baroque works again, bro, people gonna be like, "Oh, that's that nigga from the," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they even it's like you said, like if well, 'cause some people don't read the manga, some people just watch the anime straight. But if you read the manga, each chapter Oda always illustrates some like little backstory, or like a little side story, or something going on in it. And the introduction to Zoro was actually one of them for the chapter. So that was like his little treat. You can tell he was involved in the sense of here's a treat for the manga fans.
Yeah. Other than that, it was fine for me. Like the first 2 episodes, I was just like, all right, let's get to the nitty gritty because I know the story already. like, like let's get let's get to the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously they made some changes, and I didn't give a fuck about the changes. To be honest, I'm like, yeah, as long as we get to what I know, like the main points need to be the main points. Because if you change the
They
main
were.
points, if you change the
And
main points,
yeah.
I'm out of here. I'm out, bro.
They hit
Bro,
some of those beats like scene for scene.
clockwork, bro. Clockwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, word.
And like, if the main point wasn't the main point, I would have been like, all right, nigga, I'm out of here. Like, we're not doing this because
But
you just wrote a whole nother story, like a whole nother story.
I'm gonna throw this out there, right? Like I've been, like talking about One Piece in the barbershop like for a long time now, like since I started watching it. And nobody bats an eyelash at the conversation I have.
Tracks.
But today, like everyone made it a point to bring to my attention that most of the barbershop has watched it.
Really?
And everybody's just like,
Yeah.
I love, David specifically was like, I
Really?
loved it. Yeah, he was like, I loved it.
You
It was
watched the
great.
whole thing?
We watched the whole thing. I was just like, oh, okay.
I've been telling you, nigga.
I
I've been
appreciate.
telling
He
you,
said
nigga.
he even
Listen.
said, I thought about going to watch the anime, but I'm not sure if I'm willing to do it yet. And I
Listen
said,
to me right
I'll
quick.
take that.
I know
Just
it's
the way
not
you
my
gave
turn,
it.
but if I show you my phone right now of how
It's
many
wild.
text messages that I got from different people that I told them to watch One Piece and they was like, nah, it's too long. And they watched the live action and they're like,
I might
like,
need to get
I
into
might,
these
I might, I
anime
might
shit.
need to,
I
I might need to
do
watch.
it.
I might have to, yeah, like,
All right,
one of my boys, he was like, for sure, you right on. I gotta watch that shit. Like, so yeah, I agree with y'all.
Let's move to Shawny's
I'm done.
impressions.
Yeah. So perfectly to piggyback off that, that's one thing I will say that it's the pacing, and it was because when I tried to avoid all the trailers on One Piece as much as possible because I wanted to like go into it blind because as you guys know, I've been very skeptical with Netflix's history of live action, and
You're not by yourself.
Yeah, we out here.
Yeah, but again, it's One Piece, and we knew back then that Oda was going to be involved, and even then, we were like, I was personally still 50-50.
Mhm.
I watched the trailer, I think the day before with Sasha, and she literally said to me, "I would watch it with you if it's in English." She can't do it because if it's Japanese, but if it's English, I'll watch with you. And I was like, okay, you know what, like. I'm
We
gonna take
watching this shit
advantage
in
of
English.
that. I'm watching that shit because it ain't no, she can't want you to watch anime. So I was like, all right, cool. And honestly, watching the first episode, I took a few notes, but one thing I will say is as a One Piece reader and watcher, you can easily tell that Oda was involved, and what he essentially did is it's not like when he was first writing One Piece and coming up with it. You can tell that he's combining everything into it as a whole product, and let me find a way to make it more digestible, as John would say, for non-anime.
I literally just thought that.
And
He knows you, bro.
it was done very well. I remember one scene specifically was, and I could be wrong in the episode, but they showed the wanted board. And if you paid attention to the wanted board, they were showing people
Hella
from,
niggas.
from fucking Dressrosa.
Cavendish.
And Cavendish was on there, Bellamy was on there, and I was just like, this nigga Oda is nice because one thing I spoke to some people, and the thing is that as great as it is, it's going at a certain point they have to find a stopping point because we all know that One Piece, you're 1,000 episodes in. There's no way in hell you're going to adapt everything. You can chop it down, but there's just certain things that might not look right in
You're gonna have to cut
CGI.
it out.
You're going to have to cut it out. You're going to have to find that stopping point.
Now, what if Netflix likes the results so much that they give them a larger budget
No, 100%.
to make
No,
better visual effects moving forward.
When that shit happens, when they have to do visual effects like that, it's gonna happen.
Because you know, like we got scenes of like Doctor Strange sprouting multiple arms, and that doesn't look so awkward. We couldn't see Robin, you know, sprouting her limbs all over the place, and it won't look as crazy.
I mean,
Cien
for
Cien
anime people, I just don't see Inaki looking decent in Gear 4 personally. So
well, I mean, we don't.
But that's gonna have to be that's gonna be a while from now. Like I'm pretty sure when the time skip happens, it's gonna be like y'all niggas gotta hit the gym. Like, they're gonna have
those
to
characters will be older by then too. Though those characters will be older, which will help because the characters do age in appearance after the time skip. So as long as the people involved pay the people working on the production well, they pay the actors, they do what they're supposed to, they continue on this trend, I don't see why, you know, like those visual effects that Shawny is a little worried about, I don't see why that can't be improved, but that's just my wishful thinking.
And another thing we have to consider is it's not the days when Netflix was beginning and they could do multiple seasons. Netflix usually will, by the time you get to the 4th or 5th season, they're deading that show.
Even before that.
Even before that. Even
by
as
like
pop,
by the second or third season.
So
if they don't like it, that shit is gone.
Exactly. And again, One Piece can do as great as it wants, can make all the money it wants, but we all know that at a certain point Netflix cuts the cord. So I'm not let me not say, and this is just me just thinking too far ahead and need to focus back, but just saying that at a certain point I would say that they have to find a stopping point, whether that means it's they get to the time skip part and just stop it there, or they're just gonna have to find something to cut it off, because remember that this is kind of like, this is a live action to bring people in and say, hey, if you want to see more, go watch the anime. And you know, because everybody, we've discussed multiple times here. People, when you try to describe One Piece to somebody, they always give you the same complaint. It's 1,000 fucking episodes, bro. I'm not trying to watch it. But then you give them. But what Netflix is doing is like, we're condensing the 1,000 episodes into a series that is more digestible and straight to the point. And that is the biggest difference. One Piece comes from that time where they would put content, and we all know, you watch One Piece now, half of your episode is a recap from the beginning, the opening. By the time you're only getting like about 13 minutes an episode of content, and they tend to drag it out. But you know, if you trim the fat, it is something you can easily get into. It's just the dragging. But anyway, sorry, little tangent, but
no, you're good.
To episode 1. A few things that I noticed. This is a lot more mature tone than One Piece anime, because you know, when One Piece came out many years ago, it was cartoony and goofy, and the live action really is like I would say it's like a rated M. Like, yo, like we're really giving you the pirate world. Like even the scene with Gold Roger and you see his teeth. His teeth is like, it's not clean and white. It's like rotted.
That scene was awesome.
Him and George Washington got the same dentist.
I don't know, the accents that these actors are putting on too. Like it's good. It works.
And that's the thing that, like, you know, again,
Garp with a Scottish accent is hilarious,
bro. It works. I loved it. I was like, yo, this shit. He's intimidating with the accent.
I love it though,
because you think about it, like we are programmed because it is a Japanese cartoon being anime. You assume everything is Japanese, but again, they made it pirates. They in English, they actually sound like pirates. Like I posted it in the chat, but if you notice, Luffy, you know, Oda did at one point put out a special page and he explained what each character comes from a certain place. So Luffy is from Brazil, so you can hear his accent. Zoro, I know, John, you mentioned he doesn't look like Zoro, but theoretically he is Japanese looking, and everybody in the One Piece world, they kind of look alike. So Zoro looking Japanese actually, like,
it plays into his character.
It's canon, bro. It's canon, bro. It's canon.
And let me not get ahead of myself because we gotta wait till we discuss it as a whole. There was one character.
You could still mention the characters.
It's a little further ahead, but from the trailer, we already saw Usopp. Usopp is fucking black, and you know that was always a joke that was always a running joke for.
No, but you didn't even have to think about that because my nigga Yasop out here with a afro
That was
looking
awesome.
spicy, nigga. You know what I mean?
All of Shanks's crew
Spicy,
was
Oh,
dope.
nigga.
no, hold on, stop right there because that is in my notes. That is one dislike I did not like. They fucked Beckham up.
Oh no, yeah, they
Beckham,
fucked him up.
Beckham,
They fucked him
Beckham
up.
deserved
That
better.
nigga need to hit the gym. He need to
Yes,
hit
That
the
nigga
gym,
looks
bro.
crazy. He
for to
looks
be
like a
Old man.
heroin
he
addict.
looks
He
like a
looks
pirate.
insane.
Don't get me wrong, he looks like a
Has hella
pirate.
scurvy on his face. That nigga looks
Word.
crazy.
But he does not look like. I
That's
guess
Beckman.
for me, when you look at the characters and how everybody is pretty much on par with their counterparts, and I could say that because when I'm watching with Sasha and I'm pausing and I'm showing her, this is who it looks like, this is who it looks like, this is who it looks like, and she's like, that looks good, that looks good, that's good, and then you show fucking Beckham, and Beckham is like, he's the first mate of Shanks, and we all know how great Shanks is. So you would think that he would look more accurate. Yasop looked great. Lucky Roots look fucking amazing,
Luckaroos
but
hilarious. This nigga
hilarious.
is
Nailed it.
hilarious, bro.
Um,
This nigga look
That
so
nigga.
funny, dog.
character wise, that was the thing. I think they nailed Colby. Colby was done amazingly.
He might be
I
the
feel
best one.
he
He
honestly,
might be
yeah.
the best.
Casting.
By the
Like
they did.
even I'm sorry to cut you off, but
Mhm.
even in his his character design and his portrayal of the character, out of
Everything.
everyone who was thing, he was like the standout to me.
Yes.
And that's
Even
not to say that everyone was bad. It's
I think
just
I think
he
Nami was
played
nice.
Kobe the best.
Yes, he
Like,
did.
or he played his character the best.
yes.
Yes, he did.
Even their scene of just showing him like Luffy saying, you know what, yeah, I'm a pirate, but you go do your dream. It was very touching, and it's like Crispin said earlier, it hits the notes like you want the main notes to be hit.
I don't care where you put him at,
As
but
long
make
as
sure
the
they there.
hits.
Make sure they there. You know what I mean?
Zoro I thought was great. That was one thing where it really showed me how mature the action was because
Yeah.
Zoro fucking cuts the guy in half, which you never ever seen in One Piece anime. Like you've seen people get cut, but you never see Zoro like
Straight up
Straight up.
dismember people. Yeah.
exactly like
Only
so-
niggas you see dismember people is fucking this nigga. What's it called? Law.
law. And he
Oh,
and
yeah.
yes,
Yeah, the only
So-
nigga.
Shambles.
that was great.
They want the nigga from Victorious to play Law. The what's his name? I don't remember his name.
We'll look it
Continue,
up
Shawny.
later.
I'm sorry.
We'll look it up.
Sorry, continue.
So sorry, I'm just getting through my notes. I watched it in Japanese first, and I watched it in English. Yo, I was kind of nervous because when you watch something and they put a Japanese dub over like an English voice, you would think the mouth and the movements are
The
gonna
mouth
look
flaps
weird.
don't work.
Yeah, it actually worked. It looked really good. There was
It looks really good.
very minimum lag in my opinion. Like it actually looked like they were talking in Japanese to some level. So I was happy with that. They used all of the OG voice actors, even the announcer was in there. So
Mhm.
like I really felt like I was hooked. And then I watched it in English and I was like, you know what? Like it's gonna sound crazy, but I think the English cast did a way better job than the actual dub cast does. Kill me later for
Wow.
that. But
Wow.
just to say, I hate
and
Japanese
you're
anime,
a
but
Japanese
I
sub.
love sub.
You're a
and
sub watcher as
It's
am I.
because the reason is because it's different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this
It's not the same as you see in an anime with their
Yeah.
facial expression and listening to a voice than you seeing me saying El Diablo se está quemando eso, and then a Japanese nigga on top of my head.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's not the
Yeah,
same.
it worked.
Like when I used to watch movies like from that were made here in the U.S. in Spanish, I used to be like, all right, nigga, it's the Spanish voice
Yeah.
for Goku is gonna be the main character. The Spanish voice that Goku had is the main
It's
character.
the voice
in
for
every movie.
everybody. Yeah.
Every movie, nigga.
he gets a lot of work, that guy.
That nigga is
My
rich.
bad, Shawny. My bad, Shawny.
No,
My
you're
bad.
good. You're good. No, I loved it. The Gold Roger scene, him actually getting executed, that was another hint to just show that like you can see the severity of it, and even them interrupting his speech, it adds to the effect of yo, I'm dying, but y'all gonna go find my treasure. Oh, and they showed the scene that you saw oh my god.
I was gonna say this part.
No, what's his name? The father. Fuck. Dragon.
You
You
saw
saw
Dragon.
Dragon in the cave.
You saw Dragon. You
young
saw
Shanks.
Shanks. Who else is there?
So,
so here's
Mihawk.
That's what I was gonna
A
say.
young
When it's
Mihawk.
my
I
turn.
noticed
Mihawk was
Mihawk, but
there.
I didn't notice Dragon.
But
Yeah,
there's
the
another
green
person.
thing.
Had the
The
green
green
cape.
thing.
Oh,
There's another person that was there that everyone is saying
Smoker
is
was in
something
that bitch
else.
too.
That
Smoker was
you
in
see
that
the
bitch
back.
too, by
You
the
see
way.
the back of their head. You're talking about
Correct.
the person that you see the back of their head. Okay, yeah.
You see
So-
you see her face. You see her
Yes.
face. You
So
see her
there-
face.
Yes.
Yes.
Smoker was in that bitch too, by the way.
Oh, hold on, Crispin. We're talking about
I know
Crocodile.
who you're
By the way,
talking
for the
about.
people
Yes.
who are listening, we're talking about Crocodile and the theory that
They
goes around
focused
that
on the
Crocodile
girl.
is a girl because of the events of Impel Down. If you have not watched that far into One Piece, you are spoiled. It's too fucking late. I don't care. But basically, yeah.
Well, we talked about it, but just to
We've
give
talked
No,
about
but
that
that's
before.
but
There's
it
a-
hasn't been officially addressed or
been
confirmed
official.
or anything like that. So
No, I said it's a rumor.
speculation.
I
It's
said it's
the
a rumor.
girl that they focus on.
I said it's a rumor. It's a rumor.
So,
But
for the sake
that's
of
who the internet is saying
Yes.
that person is.
for the sake of speculation, basically there is a character you get later introduced to in the Alabasta arc named Crocodile. Later, when you get to the Impelled Down arc, you meet another character that essentially Ivankov, which is is essentially a how do I explain it?
It's a
He's a guy,
transgender
right?
character.
He's a-
No,
He's a
she-
transgender character.
he's not transgender though. He doesn't. He has the ability to
change
change
gender.
genders whenever
I
he
just-
wants,
Exactly.
yeah.
or
That's
change
not
someone
trans.
else's gender because
Yeah,
his
that's
power
not-
is hormones.
Yes.
So
he ate the hormone
Give me
fruits.
a second. So if he goes like this, yank, and turns into a girl, what did he do?
Yeah, but he could turn
He
himself back into a
transitioned,
man.
bro. All right, the fact that he could just go back.
Let's move on, please. Shawny, before we get ourselves into a spot we cannot move, Shawny, please.
Anyway, so like I was saying, there was later in Impelled Down, Crocodile was a villain, and essentially he wasn't trying to work with Luffy, and which Ivankov says, "Hey, you better keep it in line before I tell everybody your secret." And that probably happened 800 episodes ago. To this day, we don't know what the fucking secret was.
17 years ago.
But the theory has always been that the secret is that Crocodile used to be
It's
a
Luffy's
woman.
mom.
Well, not well.
Oh.
Let me hold on. Slow down.
Oh, my bad. I thought that's where he was going.
I still don't
Breaks.
believe in that.
Anyway, basically, the rumor is that Crocodile was once a woman, met with Ivankov, and Ivankov changed
her
into
a man.
into a man. And you can look it up, and if you look in the scene, they'll show you the face of her, and there's certain features that are similar to Crocodile.
In the way that
leads
he
to-
would carry himself. Yeah.
And
Exactly, that leads you to believe.
And in the anime, Crocodile was there.
Yes.
Yeah, he
when
was.
he was there when Roger was
Sure.
getting executed.
I also found it interesting that they refer to him as Gold Roger and not
Yes,
Gold
thank
D
you.
Roger.
That was
That
was
Hold
one
on.
thing I was gonna bring up.
So they might put emphasis later on in the story about the significance
I see
of
where you're
the
going with
D.
this.
You know,
remember, but remember, we don't find out his name is Gold D Roger, Gold D Roger,
D Roger
until the Summit War. We don't know that he's D or he's
I thought they always
they tell you in the
Gold
beginning.
D Roger was the king of the
it was
pirates.
Gold D.
That's
Roger.
always
they
always
said it. They
Really?
his
said it.
name was always
Yes.
his name was always Gold D Roger. It
From
just
what I
never- they
remember,
just-
it was Gold
No,
Roger, Gold
the
Roger, Gold
name-
Roger,
it was-
because or if
The name for the viewers is always Gold D.
Yes.
But in the actual story, his bounty never said D. It said Gold and Roger.
yeah, because the
Because
government
they
was
didn't
trying
want
to hide.
him. They didn't
Yeah.
want people to know that he was a D.
that he
member.
was a D.
Yeah.
which
So-
they will hopefully explain later. We will not.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe Oda changed it so that we all know him as Gold Roger.
For
And
now.
then at some point, he'll reveal it.
Gold D Roger.
Yeah. So let me wrap up mine so we can let Macky go. Which works out perfect because he ties it all together.
Yeah, 'cause we don't have
I
much
went
time.
into my dislike for Beckham. Luffy and Kobe's relationship really shined through the live action. That was a touching moment.
Word.
I think Helpepa was. I don't remember if he was in the first or second, but they nailed him.
He was in the
terms of-
second episode.
Yeah,
Both.
I don't think he was in the first, but he was in the second episode though.
He's definitely in the second episode.
He's definitely in the second. Don't remember if he was in the first, but they nailed him. He was everything about him was really on point. They portrayed Nami's hate for the pirates very well. like even Sasha kept noticing, and she was just like, like, does she, what is it with her? Like, why does she hate the Pirates? Why does she hate the Pirates? I'm like, yo, like the hardest part is watching it with somebody, and you want her to like really enjoy the moment, but you don't want to spoil it.
You gonna see some shit.
Yeah, just like
my girlfriend seen the shit, and she was still asking me questions. I'm like, nigga,
She
you
wasn't paying.
seeing the
She ain't
shit?
see it. She ain't see it.
No, she forgot because there was a thing
a minute ago.
Yeah. So the thing for me was that one change that I noticed that I was a little skeptical about, but it still worked out was, and I could be wrong on this, so shoot me later if you want. But I remember that wasn't Luffy the one that gave
Nobody's
Zoro
shooting
the
you,
swords?
nigga.
Huh? Say that again.
Or verbally.
Say that again.
I said, what in the anime wasn't it Luffy that got the swords for Zoro?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they changed that to make it that he got them back himself.
Yeah, they did. And then like Zoro never in the live action never officially agrees.
Yes, he's
to
like
be a part of.
Yeah, he kind of just is like whatever and just is following Luffy everywhere.
He's just nonchalant. But I'll wrap it up with this. I think it was very well done. I like how they kind of condensed the story down to fit Nami and Zoro in. Well, Zoro's already in it, but to condense Nami into it as well. They kind of just, skipped out on a lot of fluff, and they just really kept it concise to the point. Mm-hmm. Certain things were changed. Yes, we can agree, but I'm not mad at it. And one thing I just found out now doing my research is, and I'll end with this, is Zoro was actually, this is not his first live action. He was in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamonds Unbreakable Chapter 1, Tokyo Ghoul S, Knights of the Zodiac, Pacific Rim, which is
Knights of the Zodiac had a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to see that shit, to be honest.
But he was actually in, which before this, I'm still.
Oh no, we knew this. We knew what you're about to say. I knew that already.
That he was in Rurouni Kenshin.
Yes, sir.
I did not know that he was in Rurouni Kenshin.
I saw Rurouni Kenshin, and
he wasn't.
And I saw it
too.
Yeah,
he was the bad nigga at the end.
And which, to me, in my opinion, that says a lot because before this, Rurouni Kenshin was the best live action adaptation of an anime that I've ever seen.
Yes, I agree.
And him being in that kind of just like, you know what, I'm here for it. But nonetheless, for me, it was a good watch. My girlfriend, I saw the finished episode. She wanted to watch more of it, and I was shocked by that. So I was like, okay, successful. You can watch it in Japanese if you want the dub and still feel it, but it's not bad in English at all. That's coming from somebody who is 100% sub. And that's all I got.
All right, say no more. Yeah, so I guess I'll go. I made a same thing with a lot of the things that you guys first and foremost. I want to show you who they want Law to be. This guy, we all remember this guy from Victorious.
Yeah.
They say he should be Law, which I could kind of see it. I can't lie.
I can see it,
and he's a good actor. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's who they want to be Law. This guy. But anyway, just to kind of go quickly over some of my points, because you guys kind of said a lot of the things that I liked and disliked. So just to kind of nitpick, I'm surprised nobody mentioned how ugly Shanks is. No one said anything about that.
I don't think he was
ugly. I am comfortable with my sexuality. In the anime, Shanks is a baddie, bro. This looks like the great value Shanks. I can't lie to you.
He wasn't that ugly.
I didn't say that. I didn't. Compared to the regular Shanks,
not in that point. Not in that point. If you see Shanks,
bro, he still looked. Bro, this guy looks. He.
I mean, do you want to compare to Beckham's casting? Come on.
He was that. I was gonna say him next, but you already covered that, so I'm not even gonna go there. But I just didn't like Shanks. Like his. Not that he didn't look like Shanks. He was just not as handsome as Shanks. Again. I'm comfortable with my sexuality, so I know what I'm saying.
You don't got to keep repeating it.
The next thing is I have to. The next thing is I didn't like how Party's bar was. In the anime, Party's bar was like kind of big, and it was like inside a house or like a building.
A building,
and
yeah.
This particular one was like literally just
outside
on the sea, and I didn't really like how that went because, and I'm. Yeah, so I didn't like how that went.
The aesthetic worked though for what they were going for.
Okay. I didn't like the fact that the hair in all the characters, including like Kobe and Zoro, that it wasn't fully pink or green, but Nami's hair was fully. Hold on, Nami's hair was fully red. So I don't understand why that was. And to speak about Nami again, I wasn't really feeling Nami because I'm scared about how she's going to look post time skip, because we all know what Nami looks like now,
Yeah,
and we all
that's
know what Nami
not
looked
realistic,
like
man.
back then.
I
So
would only
I'm scared because Nami, and even though Nami's not my favorite girl character, she was she is very very sexy. And what's Shorty's name?
Emily
Makino.
is
I know he's on
sexy.
top.
Emily. She don't really me personally. She don't really give me that vibe. But those are just some of the things that I didn't really like. Overall, I really did. I liked it. I like you guys are complaining about the CGI. Well, John mostly. I enjoyed the CGI. Like it wasn't I and again I went into this just like Sean, I went into this with the worst possible outcome, not really expecting anything. Even after seeing the trailers and being impressed on how everything looked, the set design, the characters, the casting, everything, I still wasn't, you know, set on how this was gonna be. And Luffy doing Gum Gum Bazooka, Gum Gum Pistol, it looked good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna skip forward. I'm gonna skip forward, but even Buggy splitting up his body, that looked good. Like it looked good, honestly.
That didn't look bad. I thought it would.
So yeah, so I
He
think the
did a good. They did
CGI
a good job
really
with that.
did it did a good job on the CGI. And you know, Luffy's character, Luffy Inaki, sorry. He did his portrayal of Luffy was really good. Um does he remind me of Luffy? But his portrayal was really good. I feel like he should have just said, I'm king of the pirates like about 20 more times, because you know that nigga Luffy loves saying that shit every single time he opened up his mouth. So I wish he would have said that more. And I wish I would have saw him fight more. But overall, like I said, I mean, it was really it kind of like I was hooked after the first episode. I was like, I gotta watch the rest. And I watched 4 episodes straight. Then the next day I came back and watched the last 4 episodes. So I was hooked. But the only thing that I really wanted was like the characters' laughs. I feel like that would have um, given us as One Piece lovers another thing to love.
Easter egg. Another
Yeah, or
Easter
Easter
egg.
egg, or another thing that reminds us of the anime. And I know a lot of these guys can't really do the laughs of those particular characters, so that's why they probably dropped it out. But it would have just been very, very good to see. I wonder if in the Japanese dub they doing the laughs. Oh, sorry. Um, but
the
yeah,
Japanese
overall
they do the laughs a little
they
bit,
do.
bits and pieces, but again, it's just the live. I get the point, but I think it's just more so of it's more of a serious tone to some
Yeah.
level than the
So
than
Yeah,
the
the
anyway.
anime counterpart. Because
Yeah,
even like, to be honest, when you watch One Piece, you know how goofy that shit is off the jump. But in the live action, it's more so Luffy that's goofy as fuck with like little bits of moments from everybody else. But it really, that's why I feel like I can, the part about Inaki not reminding you of Luffy, I feel like he kind of nailed it. I don't think there could have been a better Luffy, in my opinion.
I think it's not that he didn't remind me of Luffy. It's that his rendition of Luffy was really, really good. But it wasn't like hitting hitting the nail on the hammer. The person, again, like I said before, who was just amazing in their role is Kobe. I felt like when Kobe was scared, I felt that he was scared. When Kobe was indecisive, I felt that. So I don't know, like
John, I'm
even
interested
like
in your
up,
thoughts on that when he's done.
even like
what exactly? Oh, my
Oh,
bad. Sorry. No,
go
Mac
ahead,
was
Mac.
still
Finish.
explaining.
no, even like just everything about Kobe. And another person that I think off the top of my head that I think played their character really well was Usopp as well.
We're
I
too
felt
too
like
far past 2 episodes.
oh,
Keep the
shit.
thought about it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks for
But yeah,
sharing, but we haven't gotten that far
Yeah.
yet.
for sure. Kobe, and again, like I said, I liked Kobe a lot. I'm trying to remember what I was trying to say. And another one that I think played his part well was Zoro too. I think he did a very good job of giving me that nonchalant, I don't give a fuck attitude. But he's a real badass. So I thought that helped in me believing
Yes.
that he was actually Zoro.
Gotcha. Shawny, what was your question before we head out?
It was his thoughts. Well, two things. It was his thought. The first thing was his thoughts on Inaki not hitting the nail on the hammer on the nail for Luffy. So your thought on that, really quick.
I was surprised at how well I thought Inaki portrayed Luffy. Like when I saw that little promo about Oda telling him, he's like, "You
Yes.
are Luffy."
Yes, I was gonna
I
bring
was
that
just
up.
like, I don't know if like Oda's just doing this, like for the promo. But I see what Oda was talking about
Yeah.
because I saw that whole conversation they had. I know a lot of it's just promo bullshit, but like I don't think Oda would put himself out there like that
Mm-hmm.
if he didn't feel confident
All I
about the
know is
character.
the cinematographer, I think, or the producer, one of the two, was talking that like they were like, oh, we shot something, we showed it to Oda, and he was like, nah, we're not doing
Yep.
that. We gotta shoot it again.
Yeah.
Yep. If Oda said he didn't like it, they had to
If
redo
Oda
the
say
shit.
they like it, the whole shit had to be redone. That's crazy, bro. That's
Yep.
dedication to your shit. You gotta respect my shit. You wanna use my shit? You gotta respect
Yeah.
it.
And
Yeah.
and I think it's gonna do them a lot of favors. I think
What
that
real quick
they're gonna have a successful show.
before you send us out, I just want to get a rating for the first 2 episodes from everybody. Just real quick.
What's up, John?
John, you can start it off.
Right,
Or
right.
let me start it off and then you can
Go
end
for
it and then end the show.
Go
So
for
I'll
it.
give it for the first 2 episodes, it's like a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Shawny.
I give it 8.5.
I give it a flat 8, a little flat 8. You know what I mean? A little 8. You know
Yeah,
what?
I'm right there with Shawnee. I'd say 8.5. I'm probably leaning towards that 8.5. There's just a few things. If the CGI looked a little bit better, it might have been a 9. But that's
John,
just for now.
the last
You're gonna be
question
fine,
is
John. I promise. I promise you're gonna be fine.
The CGI is not as bad as
compared to
it's
other
not-
shit, it's not.
compared to other shit.
It's really not that much CGI anyway. So I'm telling you, you're gonna be fine.
Well, what was your question, Shawnee?
Well, it's kind of dumb, but basically at this point, do you think between the first and the second episode, screw all the ratings, our personal opinion, do you think that it did a good job of introducing the world of One Piece to newcomers and having them interested based on your experiences?
I'll just leave you with this. I pay very close attention to storytelling. The way a cinematographer, the way a director, decides that they want to share the story and the vision, I pay attention to it. And that moment that we have, at least in the second episode, where Shanks gives Luffy the straw hat, actually made me feel emotional watching it.
I teared up.
Yeah, it actually got me emotional watching it, and I felt like if they were able to pull that moment off and make the straw hat feel that significant and that special between these two characters, the rest of the story was going to be great. And that was what I got from it. So since I actually got emotional during the passing of the torch, I think newcomers to the show might feel that same significance. Maybe not in the same way that me, as somebody who is currently watching through the anime, would feel, but they would get the full emotion behind One Piece. That right there, that moment, Shanks giving Luffy the straw hat, that is a very significant, pivotal moment in the entire story, and I feel like they nailed that.
Yeah, they did
nailed that
scene for
very well.
scenes very well
Yeah.
throughout the whole thing.
So-
They did the scene for scene very well.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave you guys with that tear jerker of a scene, and we'll call it a night. So I appreciate you guys, sharing your first impressions with us and with the audience. You guys already know what to do. If you liked this video, you should actually go ahead and like the video because it helps us out. You know, it boosts us in the whole YouTube algorithm, all that good stuff. Leave a comment down below and let us know what your impressions of the live action One Piece series was. If you finished it, tell us if you liked it. If you're watching through it, tell us if you feel like you're going to finish it or if it's just not your cup of tea. And don't forget to share this video with friends and family that are also interested in anime and video game related videos, because that's what we do. We talk about here on Paradise as a whole and on the Paradise podcast. And subscribe to the channel because we got more content coming on the way soon. We got other things that we're going to be talking about and much more podcast episodes in the future. Don't forget to follow Paradise on all of our social media platforms. The handle is right there on the screen for you to see, all you YouTube viewers. That's The Paradise TV, THEE Paradise TV. That's going to be a handle for now. Changes may be coming soon. We'll update you guys on that later. You can also listen to the audio version of this podcast on the places that you love to listen to your podcast. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. It's pretty easy. You just got to look up The Paradise Podcast and you get your audio version there for you. So we had a good time breaking down the live action One Piece. We've been waiting for this for a long time. I hope you guys are just as excited as we are. And let's enjoy this adventure on the high seas.
Fucking corny.
And I'm out.
Shit.
Find the One Piece.